Good evening, everyone. Today is January 11th, 2024, and the time is 6:02. This is the Acushnet Planning Board. This meeting is being recorded for future viewing on the Acushnet YouTube channel. We are on live via Zoom and I think being recorded for the New England Cable channel. Gentlemen, because we have one member that is on via Zoom, everything has to be done by roll call. Can I get a motion to open the planning board meeting?
A motion to open.
Second. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Roll call vote.
Steve Boucher, yes.
Mark, yes.
Brian, yes.
Dave DeVignan has disappeared.
Yes, I am.
Okay, sorry about that. We had slight technical difficulty. We had a roll call vote. Dave, can you second?
I'm a yes on opening the meeting.
Yeah, on opening the meeting. Did you second it?
I'm sorry?
I seconded it.
You seconded it. We had a roll call vote. Did you? Aye?
I said aye.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. We'll get there eventually. Can everybody introduce themselves, please?
Steve Boucher, member.
Mark Francois, Chairman.
Brian Deschamps, member.
Dave DeVignan, member, joining by Zoom.
Fabulous. Next is the minutes, the meeting minutes to December 7th, 2023. Present was me, Brian, and Dave. Absent was Rick and Steve Boucher, Rick Ellis and Steve Boucher. Dave and Brian, did you guys have a chance to look over the minutes?
Yep.
I did. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion to approve the minutes.
I second that.
We have a second. Can we get a roll call vote? Mark.
Dave DeVignan, aye.
Dave DeVignan and I. Mark Francois, aye.
Brian Deschamps, aye.
Fabulous. Give me a second to sign this. I get used to signing 2024. Okay. Next, discussions and other topics. CVE, North American Solar Array on Wing Lane, Acushnet. This is a review of decommissioning bonds. We have an updated peer review. Do you want to take a quick break and try to figure this out?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, if you want. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We had some technical difficulties with our Zoom connection. I'm hoping that it's resolved, but if it is or if it isn't, we're going to continue with the meeting. I left off with CVE, North America Solar Array on Wing Lane, Acushnet, review of decommissioning bonds, updated peer review decommissioning costs, and conversion from cash sureties to bond. The three different solar companies are Rocket Solar LLC, CVE USE Torpedo LLC, and Sunrise on Wing Lane LLC. The CVE has requested to convert to supplying decommissioning bonds for the three projects, and when those are approved and on file with the Treasurer's Office, the town will close the cash surety and return the funds to CVE. The town administrator has approved the decommissioning peer review provided by field engineering for all 3 projects. So let me just go over these real quick. The first one is the CVE US Torpedo LLC. This is the smallest, I think, of the 3. It is approximately 2.1 acres, 0.70 megawatts with 1,700 modules. The total of decommissioning without salvage, we don't do salvage anymore, without salvage is $42,500. 10% contingency, which is $4,250, for a total of $46,750. We do a 20-year bond at 3% inflation per year for a total cost of $82,000. At the moment, this one has a cash surety of $50,000 in cash. So they're gonna switch, we're gonna get their $50,000 back, and then they'll put up a 20-year bond at $82,000 for this one. Let's vote on these individually. Gentlemen, do you have any comments, concerns, questions regarding the first one here, Torpedo LLC?
The only question, Mr. Chairman, if I may, is, obviously we're voting on these separately. Does anybody actually review the bond policy?
Yes.
Okay. This is only to allow for the bond, but the actual language inside the policy itself.
That gets done by the town administrator and the town treasurer.
Okay.
This is just the review from field engineering, the peer review of what the costs will be to decommission this solar field, and then the bonds are worked out with the town treasurer and
Okay.
town administrator.
Very good.
Is this totally separate from the upkeep thing that we?
Yes, sir, I'm glad you asked. So this particular one, well, these are 3 combined.
Right.
So there's another one that is on the front. We still have $30,000 cash for screening cash surety. So for this one, we still have $30,000 cash surety for the screening. And for another one, excuse me, the biggest one, which is almost 3.5 megawatts, that one has $63,000 in cash surety. That is separate
Okay.
from this,
From the decommission.
the decommissioning.
Okay, okay, because it seems like it's easier to go for the cash if there is
We're
an
gonna,
issue with the other.
exactly, and they were in front of us here a couple of months back. They're supposedly gonna be looking at it over the spring and summer to take care of the dead plantings and trees. We're gonna keep that in cash for quicker accessibility.
Good.
Can I get a quick motion or vote on the Torpedo LLC solar?
So we're, just so I'm clear, this is actually for a total of over 20 years,
20 years.
82,000.
Correct.
Okay.
It's,
I have a question.
shoot.
You mentioned at the early part, they have 50,000 in cash.
They
Why
have.
is it 50 and not 82? And if we
Yeah.
make a motion,
I
we're not
wasn't.
swapping out 50 for 50. It's 50 for 82.
Yep.
I wasn't here for this. I don't know why it was $50,000 in cash. I wasn't on the board at the time. I know that the peer review came back with $46,000 if they were to decommission it today.
Okay.
And then field engineering on a 3% inflation rate. 20 years from now, it's gonna cost $82,000. I don't know how and why they settled on $50,000 cash. I just know that in 20 years, field engineering says it's gonna cost $82,000 to decommission.
Okay, fair enough. I'll make a motion to accept the release of the $50,000 cash in lieu of them substituting a 20-year bond for $82,000.
We have a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, roll call, Steve?
Aye.
Mark, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Dave, aye.
Fabulous. That one down. Let's look at the next one. The next one here is Rocket Solar. This one is 0.65 megawatts, approximately 2,320 modules on approximately 4 acres of fenced-in area. The total is $53,500 with 10% contingency, another $5,350 for a total today of $58,850. With 3% inflation rate over the next 20 years, the bond would be for $103,000. Right now, they have $75,000 in cash for decommissioning. They would get their $75,000 cash back and have a bond for $103,000 for 20 years. And again, on that one, well, between the three different solar fields is approximately $93,000 in cash for the screening, in case something happens. Questions, comments, concerns?
Is this the one on the left side? I know the first one was that small triangular one after the high tensions. Is this the one before the high tensions? I'm just trying to get a handle on.
Yeah, you know what? I know there's two small ones and a big one. I think the two small ones are when you're driving in on the right-hand side, the small triangular one, and then the other one just adjacent to it. And then I think the big one, which is the last one that we're going to go over here, which is almost, it says 10 acres, approximately 10 acres, which is big. Is I think that's the one
On the left.
on the left side, yes.
All right. And you said what's in? What do we have separate for landscaping?
Between the three, we have approximately $93,000 in separate cash surety.
Are they all operated by the same company?
They're all owned by CVE. They're all operated by CVE by the looks of it, but they are separate companies by they're all different LLCs. There's 3 different LLCs.
Okay, so what I'm trying to understand is, you say we got like 90-something thousand in cash. Are they separate sureties broken up into 3 pieces, one for each one? Or is it one lump sum for all 3?
It would have to be.
Right
surety.
now, the big one on the left, which is Sunrise on Wing Lane LLC, that one has $63,000 in cash surety.
Okay.
And that's, I think that one's 88 Wing Lane, and then 87 Wing Lane, which is this one that we're on right now, which is Rocket Solar, which is approximately 4 acres. That one has 30,000, and I do not know why the first one that we just did, which is
Sunrise.
Torpedo.
Torpedo.
Torpedo is the smallest, which is 0.71 megawatts, 1,700 modules. That one doesn't have anything for cash sureties.
I think that was one of the
Maybe that one's the
That's
first
why.
one that doesn't
Yeah.
have any screening in front
Yeah,
of
the
it?
first one that
That
was
was
built,
the
they got a
first one.
berm on the right side,
Yeah.
and all the
That's why.
trees are on top of the berm, so that's probably why that has nothing.
Right.
'Cause
Okay,
This
all right,
was
I think
something
I'm clear
after
on
they
it.
decided to sign the keep
Hi,
for the
this
future.
is Suraj from CVE.
Yep.
Just to, I had a couple of the questions, so just thought I'd dive in. So, when you come into Wing Lane, the first property on the right, if you're coming from the Paget Street onto Wing Lane,
Yeah.
if that's the direction you're coming in.
Yep,
So the first one on the right is Torpedo, which is 700 kilowatts or 714 kilowatts.
yep,
As you come in, the first big one to the left is Apollo. That's the biggest of the lot, which is about 3.6 megawatts, and the one to the right is Rocket, which is about 650 kilowatts. If that
Gotcha.
helps.
Okay.
thank you. So Dave, yeah, you're right. The first one there, that one doesn't have any screening, and then the big one on the left and the other smaller one on the right have, again, 30,000 and 63,000.
Okay. I'll make a
So-
motion to release the 75,000 in cash in lieu of a 20-year bond in the amount of 103,000 to be replaced to replace the cash surety.
We have a motion. Can I get a second?
I second that.
All in favor? Roll call, Steve.
Yes.
Mark, yes.
Brian, yes.
Dave, yes.
Fabulous.
I have one comment before you move forward.
Please.
We talked about CVE owning all three of these. It's only mentioned once at Torpedo, but the other two do not say ICVE. When you read Torpedo, it says owned by CVE US EI1 Torpedo LLC. That's the only comment there. I don't know if Sheree can answer to that?
Sheree, can you answer who owns all three? I know they're under three different LLCs. Was the CVE own all three of these?
That's correct. All three are three different LLCs owned by CVE in North America.
I think there should be some point
I'm sure that on the,
taken care
So
of.
they
Sure, it's
all
probably
make
somewhere
up
in bond, but-
yeah.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, so the last one here is Sunrise on Wing Lane LLC. 3.48 megawatts, approximately 8,300 modules, approximately 10 acres of fenced-in area. This one is the only one that has 5 battery energy storage systems. The total on this one, right now, they have in cash $132,000 in cash surety. Peer review came back with a total of $219,850,000. 10% contingency, another $21,985,000, for a total of decommissioning of $241,835,000. 241,835. With a 3% inflation rate, it gives us a 20-year bond of $424,000. So they're getting back the 132 in cash, 132,000 in cash, for a 20-year bond of 424,000. Questions, comments?
What was the cash amount?
Cash amount was 132.
Okay, I'll make a motion to release the 132,000 in cash in lieu of a substitution of a 20-year bond for $424,000.
We have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Steve, yes.
Mark, yes?
Brian, yes.
Dave, yes.
Okay. I also want to bring to light, there was an email sent today, as a matter of fact, to Paul, but I think it was sent after he was already gone. But I got the email, and basically CVE is requesting, let me just read what they put here. We have only one comment. Typically, towns agree to a bond amount for 1 year as opposed to 20 year, which escalates year over year at a specific inflation rate, where here is 3%. Do you think the Acushnet Planning Board would be amenable to this? Could you please mention that at tonight's meeting and let me know what they say? So Paul isn't at our meeting tonight. I did get your email. To answer your question, we do not entertain 1 year bonds. There's just entirely too many. If we did that for one, we'd have to do that for all. There's just way too many to be going back every year to be updating them yearly. 20-year bonds are a lot less money to pay yearly. I know that, obviously you gotta pay year by year, but we do not entertain yearly bonds. We do it for 20-year bonds. A question was actually asked if what would happen if the solar field were to live past 20 years. Well, then after that, we would go back and extend the bond for a determined amount of time. But at the moment, we do 20-year bonds. I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay. I think, did you all get the town administrators, did you get a copy of this in your folders regarding the town administrator? I think we got, no you didn't, all right.
No.
I'm not sure if we got a vote on this or not, but this is basically a letter from the board to the town administrator saying, "Dear Mr. Kelly, we, the undersigned planning commission, made a motion to accept the decommissioning agreement for the following solar projects managed by CVE North America, Rocket Solar, CVE Torpedo, and Sunrise on Wing Lane. These are subject to execution by the town treasurer and town administrator." Paul says we got to vote on this. I don't see why we got to vote on this. We just got to sign this.
We've already voted on each one of them.
We already voted on each one to approve, so let's just sign this and be done with the decommissioning, to the best of my knowledge. Dave, I don't know how and when you're gonna sign this.
You got a majority. I don't think I need to.
Probably not.
The question is written the same way on there, so they should look into that, mention the CBE thing.
Right. Well, I think
It's not mentioned on what we just signed either, so.
I think it has to be, as long as it's on the bond for all three bonds, it has to be,
Yep.
you have to have CVE as the owner and operator. So I'll bring that up to the town administrator on that. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, next on the agenda, no town planner, we don't have a town planner yet, other business. Other business, I just wanted to bring this to the board's attention. I'll read, there was a notice for a public hearing on January 25th, which is our next meeting. This public notice was ran for January 11th and the week of January 18th. This is what it reads. This hybrid meeting is being held in accordance with Chapter 41, Section 81T, to consider the following petition. Proposed subdivision of land off of Keene Road owned by AMN Estates Holding LLC. Applicant, the engineer is Farland Corp. of Fairhaven, Mass. This proposal is for a 6-lot subdivision on a single access street. The plans and accompanying documentation are available for inspection at the town clerk's office, Parting Ways Building, 130 Main Street, first floor, during regular business hours. I just wanted to bring this to the board's attention. It's a nice sized subdivision, 6 lots. I brought some plans here for you to take home and look over. Also, read real quick, this is a narrative description of the proposed project. I'm not going to read it all, but basically the applicant is seeking permission to construct a 6-lot residential subdivision, including a 750 linear feet of roadway extending from properties on Keene Road frontage and terminating at a cul-de-sac turnaround. The roadway pavement is proposed to be 26 feet wide with 5 feet wide sidewalks on the southern side. The lots are proposed to be served by individual on-site sewage disposal systems and private wells. Soil testing conforming with Title V and Acushnet Board of Health requirements have been performed on all proposed lots. Stormwater is proposed to be collected via sump pump hooded catch basins, and then they go on to talk about the stormwater. I just wanted to bring this to the board's attention. It's a pretty big, for us, it's a pretty big subdivision. Paul will send out an email Monday or Tuesday with the PDF of the plans, so you can have them on your computer, and I also have sets for you guys to bring home and look at them over the next couple of weeks for our next meeting.
Mark, did you say you have full sets of plans?
I have full sets of plans, yes.
Can you put a set in your mailbox tonight? I'll pick it up on my way into work tomorrow.
I will put a set in the mailbox. Where's my mailbox? Over here? Oh, then the planner's mailbox over here. Yes, I can do that.
That's your home address.
Oh, at that one. I could do that one even easier. Sure.
Yeah, then I can drive by and pick it up.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. I'll put a set there. Yeah, okay. Anything else anybody wants to discuss or talk about?
Town planner stuff, and
We'll talk about that at the end,
at the end.
later. Our next meeting is Thursday, January 25th. I don't have anything else. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Can I get a second on that?
I'll second it.
Second.
All in favor, roll call.
Aye.
Steve, Mark, aye.
Brian, aye.
Dave, aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.